On January 3rd, 2009, a new, active charter using machine-readable programming language is conceived and brought to life. It is the birth of a new revolution that welcomes anyone to participate. It signifies the financial independence from the nation-state fiat system. One money, neutral and fair for all. In 2013, on a BitcoinTalk forum, a drunk and inebriated individual posted a message about holding his Bitcoin, no matter what, even with surging price volatility. He titled the post,
"I am hodling."
He went on to say,
"Why am I holding? I'll tell you why. It's because I'm a bad trader. And I know I'm a bad trader. Yeah, you good traders can spot the highs and the lows, pit, pat, piffy, wing, wong, wang, just like that, and make $1 million. Sure. No problem, bro."
concluding,
"You only sell in a bear market if you're a good day trader or an illusion noob. The people in between, they hold."
The misspelling of hold in his post title would capture this new investment strategy of holding on for dear life. The real HODL war is not with price volatility, though. It is with the corruptible institutions that sabotage the means for conducting commerce. Weekly USD BTC price fluctuations don't reflect the true value of a separate, distinguishable monetary network that uses incorruptible software to remove power-hungry opportunists. With Bitcoin, everything you earn is a reflection of you and your work, not the political sways of the elite.
Large sums of money might be borrowed abroad at a low interest and introduced into the country to defray the current expenses and pay the public debts, which would not only lessen the demand for immediate supplies, but would throw more money into circulation and furnish the people with greater means of paying the taxes.
Alexander Hamilton eloquently described the means by which the federal government is able to grow its own while operating at a deficit. While Hamilton also emphasized constraint in the face of debt, he failed to ascertain the motivating forces that compel unsustainable growth and the lack of individual will to take credit for a downturn. He did not anticipate that the federal government would consistently and arbitrarily bail out institutions that failed on their own merits. The predictable human nature of a government institution to bandage a wound without disinfecting it first is what precipitated Bitcoin's creator to run the protocol, leaving a message in the Genesis block that said,
The Times, 3 January 2009. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks.
The recent Bitcoin price drawdown caused many crypto institutions and companies to become insolvent, illuminating just how difficult it is to hodl. Bitcoin's price took a nosedive because of rising interest rates and the Biden administration's desire to use the Fed to bring down inflation and risk asset prices with it. Bitcoin's volatility demonstrates just how early it is in the revolution. When Bitcoin matures, it will not cower to U.S. monetary policy, nor will it be so volatile. The Founding Fathers were acutely aware of authority figures using banks and financial instruments to submit populations.
If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their money, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of their property until their children will wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. All the perplexities, confusion, and distress in America arise not from defects in their Constitution or Confederation, not from want of honor or virtue, so much as from the downright ignorance of the nature of coin, credit, and circulation. History records that the money changers have used every form of abuse, intrigue, deceit, and violent means possible to maintain their control over governments by controlling money and its issuance. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
The corruptible nature of power over the money supply was vividly apparent to many of the founding fathers. Had they been able to envision a technology like Bitcoin, they would have made it legal tender and replaced gold as the nation's reserve asset. Here's why they would have found Bitcoin so compelling. Its primordial nature. The first autonomous digital network that did not rely on a leader, an initial coin offering, or a series of capital funding rounds to experience organic development and global prominence. It was based purely on the merits of the principles that undergird the programming design. Second, its programmed scarcity. Arbitrary currency supply increases and decreases at the will of a small group of elites is invisible theft, muddying the value of your labor. A permanent supply cap eliminates this threat. Number 3, its impenetrable security. Encryption is the key to safely securing what you earn, so long as you actually hold the key. Number 4, its rebellious immutability. Bitcoin is open source, meaning anyone can modify the code and change its properties to begin a new blockchain. But will swaths of Bitcoiners voluntarily migrate to your revised network? And lastly, its decentralized structure. Nodes and miners can operate anywhere there is energy without being handcuffed to metropolitan cities, allowing the formation of an interplanetary monetary system that doesn't discriminate based on race, religion, gender, origin, background, geography, or political perspective. Sure, you can replicate any one of these 5 categories, but you cannot nicely wrap them all up into one package, slap a bow tie on top, and hand-deliver it to the human race the way Bitcoin was. It is a true marvel how Bitcoin took on a life of its own, without the backing of institutional and corporate interests, and began the revitalization of decentralization, just as our forefathers intended it. The foundation is set. Time to build the next digital metropolis. Tech innovators and startups must continue the trend by developing applications on, for, and using Bitcoin. As time passes, civilization will segment into 2 different populations. Society A will submit to a centralized authority where freedom is substituted for comfort and convenience until the mismanagement by the figures in power results in chaos, tragedy, and the collapse of all prospects for prosperity. Society B will rely on a decentralized network of willing participants that have no ability to circumvent the system or make decisions for you and your family. Your enemies will have the freedom to act without prejudice, as will their enemies. We need to adapt the institutional architecture of central banks so that ambitious and arrogant people don't rise to the top. The system should elevate ethical individuals that prioritize the long-term well-being of people they will never know. This is extremely difficult, however, because very few people possess the qualities described in the latter portion of that statement. Alternatively, we could implement a network that doesn't have any leadership, a software program that is incorruptible, autonomous, and can't be modified by a small group of people. Next time you think about Bitcoin in terms of fiat dollars, remember, 1 Bitcoin will always equal 1 Bitcoin. $1 equals whatever the US government deems it to be at that moment. And 1 unit of your local currency is at the mercy of your government authorities and whatever they dictate it to be that day. History is riddled with occasions and events where the government decided to devalue the currency at the expense of their own citizenry. Bitcoin is its own monetary network, distinguishable and separate from any nation-state currency. You don't have to like it, you don't even have to use it, but it will always be there if you need it.